We're going to take a look at the Action Movie Tower equipment. And as far as tower equipment goes in MK Mobile, this is some of the best equipment that you can get. Probably top 3 towers. So it's really important that you make the effort to get some of these gears. So we'll start off with the uncommons. So Easy Die, this is, as far as uncommons go, this is probably one of the best, S tier for sure. So 25% to apply fire on combo ender. So with MK11 Scorpion, this is brilliant. Really good with the dot setup with Ravenous Melina. So it can be a real game changer. Fire lasts 30% longer, even better. And just your standard health and damage boosts for the tower. Scene cut, 20% all special attack unblockable chance. Not too bad. And half bar of starting power. So this can be really good with with martial artists with Hellspawn Scorpion, because then you'll immediately start with 2 bars of power. Well deserved break. I always get this mixed up with mid-battle snack, which I think is actually slightly better, but 30% toughness boost, doesn't really matter. Take 25% less damage from special attacks when blocking, so this is by far the worst of the 3. Not too much utility for that one, probably just for AI for damage reduction. So onto the rares. Tin Hat, 200% recovery boost, not too bad. So recovery isn't really something that you should prioritize, especially nowadays with Chaotic Crypt and Elder Crypt, and Elder Survivor mode as well, which severely reduce your amount of recovery and health regen. So it's for the harder modes, not really worth considering. 30% reduced power cost on all special attacks. That's really good for special 1 spammers. Again, MK11 Scorpion, pretty much every single Johnny Cage. You can't really get better than that other than Katana's Noble Dainty Gesture, which can be up to 50% reduced power cost depending on how many debuffs the opponent's got. 50% chance that opponent's minigame will not add bonus damage to special attack. So again, that's more so for AI, with more damage reduction. So it's not really something that you should prioritize, but the reduced power cost on special attacks is really good. Stunt Award, 45% basic attack unblockable chance, always good to have. 100% chance to gain shield on special attack 2, which is also good, but if you have even a single copy of Shintai of the North, that's a lot better with the Frostbite and Team Frostbite on special 2 and gaining shield whenever you apply Frostbite to an enemy. And gain snare immunity while the shield is active. So not too great, but also can be quite handy, especially when you're facing Dark Knight Noob and opponents like that have snare and can easily apply it to you on their tagging. And this is also a good counter to Spawn's new Brutality set, Hellspawn Pact, which applies snare on tagging as well as Homelander. Director's Makeover, 35% critical hit chance boost, great. 15% chance to apply shield break on a critical hit, that is fantastic, that's brilliant. 100% chance to apply incurability on users tagging, also really good for dot teams, along with Noob's Friendship Epic Armor and Matakan Bearskin. So excuse me, this is a really good rare piece for an accessory, really good damage boost. And then the epics, this one, Director's Chair, is definitely S tier. It's a really good choice for an epic, and it's handy even at low fusions. I use it on every single team I never start a match without this on my support character, which you'll have seen in other videos, I hope. 100% chance to gain Dispel on special attacks, always useful, unless you're crippled, obviously. And then this is the best attribute. For every bar of power spent by the user's team, the team gains 35% critical hit damage boost for 20 seconds. This critical hit damage boost can stack 3 times. This is insane. So if you have this with luck, so you might also have seen on my other videos, I like to start with an X-ray from one character, which immediately gives 3 stacks of this. So that's 105% damage boost on critical hits. And then tag to another character who has luck or high critical hit chance, maybe someone with Director's Makeover, and can also apply Shield Break with that gear, so it's even more damage boost. So Shield Break increases damage by 45% on top of 105%. At low fusion, even fusion 0, I think this is 15%, so that's 45% damage boost for every player as long as you've spent 3 bars of power. So it's really good in terms of getting those high damage numbers and clearing battles quickly, especially in crypt, and also high tower battles as well. 50% chance to gain invulnerability when debuffs were removed by Dispel from the user. That's the FX stat, so that's pretty handy as well. But like I say, I typically use this for a support character that doesn't really fight, so I don't really use that attribute that much. Stunt Buddies. For every debuff the user applies to the opponent, the user has a 40% chance to gain Vampirism on basic attacks for 10 seconds. So I believe that I've seen a Mortal Gamer test this, and he found that the Vampirism is also for special attacks. So don't tell your friends about that one, because the more people that know about it, the more likely NRS are to fix everything. And if it's in your favor that it happens, they're going to look into nerfing it, definitely. And the 40% chance for the Vampirism is a timer. It's not like 40% chance on individual attacks. It's 40% chance to activate it for 10 seconds. For any block breaker attack, the user has a 100% chance to apply a debuff to the opponent for 10 seconds. There can only be one such debuff at a time. So this is definitely for AI bosses. So it's good to have high debuff resistance, Earth Elemental Face Mask, my favourite, Royal Guards Emerald Haze, and make sure to equip Shintai of Malice on your support characters as well. And then another annoying stat, for every 30% chance of max health loss, the user temporarily gains a protective buffer for 10 seconds. The buffer gets larger depending on the amount of health lost, with a maximum size equal to 50% of the wearer's max health, and 90% lost max health activates 3 times per match. So this can be pretty difficult to fight against when you're playing bosses. So that will just take down the timer if you can't out damage them. I don't think there's really any counters other than removing a significant part of the opponent's health to say it activates at, I think it's maybe 70% and then 50% and 10% or something like that. So if you one-shot them, they won't even get a chance to activate the buffer. So it's not always feasible when they're bosses though. But if an enemy has this on crypt, then you can just use an X-ray, hopefully just delete them in one hit, and then they won't even activate this. Primal Bait, this is probably the worst of the epics, especially for a weapon as well. 50% chance to apply blind on special attack 1, not particularly great, more so favourable for AI. 60% chance to disable one random piece of opponent's equipment for 13 seconds on any special attack. This can be quite good for playing enemies in Realm Clash Towers that have Scarlets iron thingy. I can't remember the name at the moment, but her brutality epic that has invulnerability to dots. So if you're in Clash Towers using a dot team, then this is a good piece to use to try and disable Scarlet's immunity to dot gear. 70% chance for opponents' attack to reflect 50% damage and distribute it evenly to the whole enemy team if the attack was avoided by the user. More so just for bosses to be annoying, I would say. It kind of reminds me of the animatronic from Shirai Ryu Tower, and players tend to miss. Well, I do anyway. Maybe you don't, but I miss all the time. When I'm trying to chain combos and stuff, I always end up missing the first hit for some reason, and then the animatronic comes, so I get slapped by the animatronic all the time. It's really annoying to fight against, but the AI only attacks if you're actually in range, so it's probably better for them than it is for you. And the Rage Wrench, 50% chance to drain 10% of the opponent's max power on combo enders. That's okay. It can be good with Nomad's Buzzsaw for speed on power drain, but there's much better setups to utilize with that gear. I can make a video on a crazy speed setup, so I can try and let you know about that. It's really so much fun. And also Liu Kang's Nunchaku is a better gear than this one. Each next hit that was not avoided by the opponent gives a 5% basic attack damage boost. Max damage boost is 100%. Resets upon taking a hit and tag out. See, if they didn't include that last sentence, it would be a hell of a lot better. That can be quite good, but because you've got to earn it, it's not that great. And at low fusions, you're better off with Tamer's Sinful Whip that has 60% damage boost as long as the opponent's affected by a debuff, so that's so much easier to activate, and you don't lose it unless the enemy has like Dispel or you don't apply another debuff in time. Power was drained on combo enders is stolen for the user. I'm not sure if that's 100% of it or a portion. I don't have this maxed. I've not been able to try it, but that can also be quite good for Johnny Cage, anybody that can, Scorpion as well, just people that can chain their combo enders. So that's the gear. So if you were to prioritize anything, you can easily max out all the uncommons, but make sure you get Easy Die, because that's a easy one to max out. And of the rares, I would definitely focus on Director's Makeover. The two gears that are most appropriate to use your fusion ups on is Director's Makeover and Director's Chair, Joker's Brutality set. So Director's Chair, if you get even a single copy, that's great. You can use that for the rest of the time that you play in the game, and try and get that to Fusion 3 and then fuse it up if you can, at least to Fusion 5. I would definitely say it's worth 4 Fusion ups. One of the best equipments in the game. So yeah, this is my review of the Action Movie Tower equipment. So I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what you think. What are your favorite equipments from the tower? Which ones are you going to be prioritizing? Do you have any of them maxed out? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.